Hello everybody, and welcome back to another FS25 DLC reaction video. Now as you can tell, I'm not actually at my home, I'm currently at my Nana's watching her dogs, which you would have seen them if you watched my moving vlog video. That was certainly something. But yeah, I just wanted to talk about the Highlands Fishing expansion, and it seems like this was the perfect time to do it. Seeing as, I'm away from my house, I can't exactly record Zielonka right now. And this is, not too hard to do. I got my laptop here, and we're just going to go through we got like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8 articles. They just released another one today. So, yeah, let's dive right into it. This first one was dropped on July 1st. This was before the Mercedes was even announced, right after Plains and Prairies. It says, Fun and Fishy, Highlands Fishing Expansion coming in November. Farming Simulator 25 is getting its first major expansion, and it's a fun and fishy one. Highlands Fishing arriving November 4th for PC and consoles adds aquaculture, a new map, new machines, and gameplay. You will soon be able to farm fish as well as fields. Highlands Fishing will be available both as a standalone expansion and bundled with the base game in a new Highlands Fishing Edition. Pre-order is available now. The expansion will unlock for owners of the Year 1 Season Pass on release day, I of which being one such owner. They got a trailer right here, which I'll put a link to in the card, wherever it is, up somewhere. And, yeah, they did a stream as well. It says, we'll go live later today at 6 p.m. CEST. This was obviously July. Tune in if you want to catch a glimpse of what's to come. And then also FarmCon. Welcome to Kinlaig, where green hills meet the sea. The new map, Kinlaig, draws its rugged charm from the wind-swept landscapes of Scotland. Expect rocky valleys, thick grass, and long stretches of overcast sky. It's a place where you can build farms, tend to livestock, and now, take to the water to harvest fish. Authentic stone castles and traditional architecture add historical flair to this picturesque setting. Aquaculture comes aboard, let's get fishy. This expansion marks a first for the series. Players can now engage in aquaculture. You'll be able to breed, raise, and harvest fish, such as salmon and trout, using both land-based tanks and boats out at sea. Prefer a quiet moment by the shore? Grab a rod for a relaxing round of shore fishing. It's a whole new way to enjoy the simulator's calm pace. More than fish, new animal, crop, and machinery. It's not just about the fish. Highlands Fishing also introduces a new crop as well, onions, and a new animal type, the Highland Cattle. There's a healthy boost to your equipment list too, with more than 20 new machines added. New manufacturers like Monosim, Can-Am, AgriSpread, and GT Bunning join the lineup, supporting both land and based water work. Yeah, I'm really excited for the Highland Cattle, because if you guys know, if you've watched my vlogs when I go to Pennsylvania, a lot of plugs for the vlogs, but yeah, my uncle, he has a farm, and he raises Highland Cattle. So, very cool. Obviously, not just raised in Scotland, but everywhere. They're very popular. It says, whether you're casting nets or planting onions, this expansion deepens the farming experience in exciting new directions. Time to prep your boat and your fishing boots. And then they have more available at FarmCon, which we already know about because that's happened. And then, yeah, here's the pre-order page for Highlands Fishing. It is $26.99 if you don't have the Season Pass. But yeah, here are the images again. Very cool. And yeah, it just covers everything here again as well. So yeah, let's hop on over to the next tab, which is going to be Fish and Chill in Kinlaig. Since fishing is one of the most relaxing pastimes there is, you can buy a stop scrolling. I'm not used to having a touchpad. Alright, since fishing is one of the most relaxing pastimes there is, you can buy a fishing rod from the local dealership in Kinlaig and waddle up to the next puddle to catch some fish. Isn't that nice? Let's check out how it works. Places to fish. Go near the river, go near the water, a river or an ocean, and equip the fishing rod. You can also take a sports boat out to sea and start catching fish on the open water, if that's your preferred style. There are some hot spots where more fish are found. Gosh, I am getting over a little bit of a cold, so apologies for that. But yeah, there are some hot spots where more fish are found compared to others where you might get a bit more junk on the line. Oh, and yes, you can catch fish outside Kinlaig if you prefer to fish around River Springs, Hutan, Pantai, or Zielonka. wherever there's water. Baiting fish. To start the fishing challenge, press and hold the action button to cast your bait into the water. The longer you hold the button, the farther your bait will be thrown. Now you have to wait for fish to take the bait. An indicator will appear when it does. Press the action button at the right moment, otherwise the fish will escape and leave you standing alone at the shore in shame. Reeling them in. If you reacted in time, the fish catching will begin. Now pay attention on the bar to the thank you, antivirus. No, I don't need you popping up. If you reacted in time, the fish catching will begin. Now pay attention. The bar on the right has two components. The fish, which jiggles up and down, and the bait, which you control by holding down the action button. Hold down the button to raise the bait, release the button to lower it. Follow the fish up and down with the bait until it gets tired. Wear it down to reel it in. Keep at it to improve your fishing skills and maybe get rewarded. Or get some junk. Trash happens. Yeah, so we can see in this GIF right here, that looks like the fish's energy level right there, or maybe progress to catching it. And then you have the, probably progress to catching it, because as the hook stays where the fish is, that progress bar goes up. And then either you'll get a fish, or you'll catch a wet floor sign. Pretty cool. With Highlands fishing, you can also start bigger, more professional fishing operations. A fish breeding facility, offshore aqua farms, feed production, and boats for transport let you set up a new line of business in addition to agricultural, animal husbandry, and forestry. Yeah, we'll obviously get more in. And yeah, again, this was even before Mercedes was announced. So yeah, really long time ago this was all announced. Just drumming up the hype for this. It is pretty cool, I think. Yeah. Just a little side game to do and make a little bit of extra money fishing. And then, yeah, obviously there is a way to expand your fishing empire and mass produce the fish. So much fish. Anyway, welcome to Kinlaig, Highlands Fishing Map Preview. With the upcoming Highlands Fishing expansion, you'll get to explore another style of farming. Fish farming. Also a brand new map. Get a feel of the rough charm of the Scottish Highlands, the excitement of fish farming out on the sea, and some casual fishing by the shore. Welcome to Kinlaig. Yep, so I'll put a link to the trailer up here too. Very cool that the train is a steam train. Very neat. I thought it was the Flying Scotsman at first, but it's not green in this image, so I don't know. I think it's just a regular LNER freight steam train. But it's cool that it's a steam train. You guys know how much I love steam trains. And yeah, here's the map. Let's see if we can spot anything. I'm guessing this black is the railroad, which, yeah, is definitely thorough. It comes down here. Looks like there's a spot right here, or just some bridges. Goes by these fields here. So yeah, the railroad seems pretty expansive and a lot of very interestingly shaped fields. Here we go. Rolling hills and steaming trains. Sparsely populated, the Highlands of Scotland are a green haven of rolling hills, rough winds, and popular subjects in art. I don't know why there's two ands here. But here and there, a port town like Kinlaig becomes a destination for fishermen, farmers, and lovers of natural beauty and hundreds or thousands of years of human history. So there we go. We got a viaduct there with the steam train on it. Nice little river going through the fields. Yeah, looks like a little junction here with the field and then the viaduct in the distance. Lots of pretty vistas on this map, I can imagine. Oh, we got even more. Lighthouse. And then we got more views of the viaduct. There might be multiple viaducts. Yeah, that might be another one. And there's a very close-up view to the steam train there, going under the bridge. Welcome to town, old stones, old charm. If you fancy towns where you can sense its history just by looking at random houses' bricks, you've found your new home. You'll be greeted with the authentic flair of a scenic Scottish village. Look at that, the old chapel. And yeah, just classic, very narrow European streets. Oh wow, and it's very pretty in the winter. Look at that, all the Christmas lights. Very pretty. Oh, gosh darn it. This trackpad is hard to scroll with. As for the man-made remnants of history, there are several places to explore. While the castle in the village looks as pompous as it probably did hundreds of years ago, another is in desperate need of renovation, and the stone circles, and what their purpose once was, who knows for sure. Maybe talk to the harbor master about his theories. So it looks like that's going to be what we're restoring, is an old castle. So very fitting. Wrecks and bottles. The lighthouse does its job, but there are still some shipwrecks lying around here and there, and messages and bottles as well. Scattered across the Highlands, there are dozens of them to find and read. Collected in a book at the castle, you can read through all the found pages anytime. For the whole story, you gotta find them all. So there's our collectible. So there's a shipwreck with a bottle next to it. That's probably the same shipwreck, just from a different distance. And then there's another bottle, not really near any shipwreck, but, you know, in the harbor area. And then here's the book. It's got some farm sim lore. Looks like. There's more to discover in and around the old town of Kinlaig. If you like to wander around, it's the perfect place to stretch your legs and explore. And some more pictures. Got some camping. More beautiful nature, river through trees. Looks like a road bridge kind of viaduct thing. And then fish and crops. Choose what to grow. Kinlaig offers you space and opportunities to build the farming operation you desire and extend in whatever direction. This includes, no surprise, professional fishing and cultivation of fish colonies. So this is what that previous article was talking about, expanding your fishing empire. You can, like, I guess, build, like, these placeables here. And, you know, do some stuff. And either this is like a greenhouse or some, like, aquaponics house or something. I don't know. Could be interesting. More fields. More industry. Can we guess what all this is? This looks like a grain mill. Obviously served by the train, which is nice. It could be a grain elevator, but it says mill on it. Kinlaig Feed Co. Will you have to produce fish bait? That could be interesting. Like a production for fish bait. That would be very interesting. We'll do another preview on that whole fishing ordeal, don't worry. Also, if you want to learn more about Kinlaig, points of interest, and various creatures of the sea, you might want to talk to the local harbor master. He's also a topic for another time. With Highlands Fishing, you can also start bigger, more professional fishing operations. A fish breeding facility, offshore aquafarms, feed production, and boats for transport let you set up a new line of business in addition to agricultural, animal husbandry, and forestry. So yeah, feed production, I don't know if that's related. Might be related to the fish. It probably is, actually. Like fish food. So, yeah. I guess you would turn the fish into food for more fish, probably. I mean, we'll see. That does make sense, though. And look, as of this one going out, the Mercedes-Benz truck pack has been announced. When did this article release? This was September 25th. So the Mercedes pack was out by the time this one went out. World premiere, Baby Highland Cattle, Highlands Fishing Preview. If you fancy ginger cows and shaggy coats, the upcoming Highlands Fishing expansion might fulfill your dreams of particularly hairy cattle. Not just any cattle, but Highland cattle. As we still owe you impressions of their babies, we'll do that just now with this preview. But first, if you don't know anything about these gentle creatures, how they're often called, or if you don't know anything about these gentle creatures, how they're often called, yeah. They definitely can be mean. Trust me, I know. But yeah. Got some lovely pics. Just grazing around. Lounging around. Having that derpy expression on their face. Here's some facts. Highland cattle are one of the oldest cattle breeds in the world, with records tracing back to the 6th century in Scotland. They originated in the Scottish Highlands and the Western Islands of Scotland. The breed has spread worldwide and can now be found in North America, Australia, and other parts of Europe. Despite often being ginger, Highland cattle can be black, white, yellow, silver, brindle, or dun. Their shaggy coat consists of 2 layers, a long oily outer coat and a soft woolly undercoat. The breed's long fringe, called a dosin, help protect their eyes from insects and harsh weather. Both males and females have horns, but bulls' horns typically curve outward, while cows' curve upwards. Highland cattle can live up to 20 years, outlasting many other cattle breeds. Some sources say it can be even more. Known for their hardy nature, they comfortably survive freezing and wet climates where other breeds would struggle. A group of Highland cattle is called a fold, not a herd. This is referencing to open shelters of stone made of folds to protect them from the weather. Interesting. They are extremely docile and friendly, often called gentle giants, and are popular tourist attractions in Scotland, but they're reared mainly for beef. They show affection to each other by licking, mounting, and play fighting. Mothers are very protective of their calves, and they have social hierarchies. Yeah, that's the thing you got to worry about is the mother and the babies. But there's the baby. Oh my goodness, it's so cute. Here's what you want to see. All jumpy and cute. Newborns enter the next stage of their life at 6 months when they become juvenile, meaning quite a bit more active and playful. Oh, look at the babies. The babies. So cute. Appreciate it before they grow into adult cattle after 1.5 years. They are still adorable after that, of course. Alright, so there's the stages. Got a newborn from 0 months, and then a juvenile to 6 months, and an adult in 18 months. It's like the human aging, but in months instead of years. Ready to fish and chill? With Highlands Fishing, you can also start bigger, more professional fishing operations. A fish breeding facility offshore aquafarm. Yeah, I think we heard about that. They're really pushing the fishing. Even in an article about cows. They're still talking about the fishing. It is cool, though. But yeah, speaking of fishing, more fishing. When you're done relaxing at the shore catching fish, you might want to get professional with the fish business. Go ahead. Highlands Fishing revolves around breeding fish in offshore aquafarms, granting you a brand new opportunity to grow your business. Let's raise some fish. Before you put attention on the fish raising facilities, you have to make sure you can feed the little swimmers. You have 2 options: buy fish fodder or produce it yourself. In the beginning and before, you might be fully committed to your fishing endeavor. Buying it is quicker and easier. Purchase it pallet-wise at the warehouse. In the long run, however, it is more efficient to produce by claiming a fish food factory and deliver flour, soybeans, and oil to produce the fodder. Okay, so it's not fish, it's flour, soybeans, and oil to make fish food. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. Flour, soybeans, and oil. So you will need some productions in order to get this going, but not a lot. Just a grain mill and an oil mill. And if you have mods that add windmills, then you can have both. The breeding facility. Look at all the fish in there. In the construction section of the dealership under production chain, you'll find the aquaculture category. Place your fish breeding building wherever it suits you. Oh, so that's what this is. This is the fish breeding. Oh, why is it blue? I don't want it blue. There we go. Yeah, that's the fish breeding building. Oh, because you take the fish food here, and then you get fish. And this is what it looks like on the inside. Just a bunch of, you know, a bit more sturdy than just the inflatable pools, but yeah, like little small pools. Once it's built, bring your fish food to the designated unloading area right in front. In return, you'll get young trout and salmon boxed and ready to ship. Fish transport? Where to? When you got your boxes full of juvenile trout or salmon, you'll have 2 options. Either sell them right away and keep business on solid ground, or go a step further and get your feet wet. Because the latter option, it requires you to get out to sea and make some investments. To sell the tiny fish, bring them to the fish market, unload the boxes in the designated area of the spacey storage facility, and get paid. Or deliver them to the cargo ship by either using a forklift and the ramp, or the built-in crane of the vessel. So, yep, either sell them at the warehouse, be done with it, or take them out to sea. And there's the crane in action. Looks like it might not be too difficult to use, hopefully, and not cause pallets to freak out. Aquafarms, farming on water. You'll find cargo boats for sale at the harbor. When it's loaded up with fish pallets, you need to steer it to those offshore aquafarms out in the sea where they're raised into adult swimmers. So this is where they got a bit more room to grow. Just bigger pools out in the middle of the ocean. Unload the boxes in the designated area, deliver fish fodder to the aquafarms as well, and your fish grow fast and steady. Once they've grown, the adult salmon and trout will spawn in boxes as well. So yeah, you take more food and the fish, and you increase the value of them even more. But obviously at a heavy cost. You need to buy a boat. And I don't know if you need to own these farms. Probably need to own those too. Bonus boat and pond, sporty and nice. Some want to float out onto the sea with style, so the sports boat might be the vessel to fulfill this particular dream of fishing romanticism. In addition to that, we've also added a fish pond that you can buy and place on your land. This allows you to grow fish on a smaller scale and catch them as well. Oh, that's cool. So it's a little pond that you can place on your land and fish on your own farmland. Why is it blue? There. Okay. You can fish from it. I don't know if you probably can't grow the fish in there, but you can fish from it. So that's cool. And yeah, the boats. We got a new vehicle. We got boats in the game. So what do we got? We got tractors. We've had like cars and stuff for a while. We have trains. Now we have boats. It's our planes next. We get planes. I know there's been some mods for planes, but I want actual working planes and like crop dusters and stuff. So the one I messed with, the modded one. I mean, no offense to the modder, because obviously he was doing the best he could, but it drove like a tractor. Not like how a plane would drive. Drive? Yes. All right, fact sheet collection. I think we'll come back to this at the end because we have garage and shipyard. I think we'll do onions first, and then we'll come back to the garage and shipyard trailer, and then the fact sheet collection. Yep. So we'll do this. This is the one that just came out today. Highlands Fishing Preview. Onions. You're not the only living thing to put down roots in Kinlaig. With the Highlands Fishing expansion, we also introduce another root crop, onions. Starting November 4th, we provide you with specialized machines and new production chains to cultivate and process this vegetable. Very cool. All right. So here's the stages. So from there, and then after stage 4, they're ready to harvest. Then they get harvested, and then, well, you don't want that to happen at the end. After planting them between March and April, fertilizing and removing those pesky weeds, onions require you to cut off the haulms before you collect them in August or September. For this crop, Dutch brand Holras comes into play with two simultaneously attached tools. With the Holras UMR 330 FC, you cut off the heads and produce a centered swath. With the Holras UR205 attached in the rear, the onions get cleaned more thoroughly after they're dug up by its front attached companion. It also compacts the soil a bit so the onions don't get mixed up with the soil again. By default, the swaths are centered by the belt of the tool, but you can also choose right or left aligned swaths. So you pick them out of the ground and immediately lay them on the ground, and then you come back and pick them up. Interesting way of doing it compared to all the other root crops in this game, but it's cool. To collect them, you have two options: the Grime Veritron 470 or the Ropa Keeler 2 RK22. Both are available with the configuration specialized on this particular vegetable crop. Just like in reality, a potato harvester like the Ropa Keeler 2 can be modified to pick up onions. Okay, so you don't have to do the swathing method, but you can. And it looks like, yeah, you can just use a regular old potato harvester. I don't know if that's after they've been pulled out of the ground, like right here. And it looks like it's part of the ground texture, actually. So that's interesting. It looks like it's part of the, it's not like a swath that's like laid on top, like the straw, but it's like actually part of the ground texture and just kind of bumped up. I guess that's an interesting way of doing it with the dynamic ground that we have now in this game. But yeah. It'll be interesting to see how this works. Can they be harvested just like potatoes? Or do they have to be harvested in this unique way? Can potatoes also be harvested in this new unique way? That's what I would really like to see, is a lot of different unique ways to harvest all the root crops and kind of make them like the regular crops of the game, where they can all be combined, but, there's one machine that does it. I don't know if that's necessarily accurate to real life, There probably are several different machines for different root crops, and that's why we have all this, but it would be cool to be able to be like, yes, I have one machine that can do all the root crops. And I mean, that's what we kind of got with Zielonka. But potatoes and sugar beets still have their own thing, so I don't know. You'd think it would work with them, but maybe not. Maybe there's a reason it doesn't. After that, delivered them to the Horace AS25 on your farm, an onion topper specifically designed for trimming options, or trimming onions. Thanks to the special shape of its blades and their high speed, the strong airflow sucks the onion tails between the bars of the vibrating screen, after which they are cut off. Oh yeah, I see, yeah, because the onions have like little roots and bits sticking out of them, so you cut that off, and then you can package them in boxes. Neatly cut and packaged, the onions are now put in boxes, so you can process them further at various production points. Salty, soupy, and fried. Transport your onions to the next destinations. Do you want to produce onion salt or onion soup? Fried onions are also an option. Deliver them to the corresponding facility for processing. Yeah, so this looks like an expansion of all like the Zielonka chains we got. So like we got the soup. We got soup. Yes, we got soup. And then I guess, yeah, fried onion rings. I don't know if those are made, yeah, onion rings. I don't know if those are made at the same place as like the chips, like the potato chip thing, or if there's like a different chain. I guess we'll have to see. But yeah, you can also just sell them if it's too much of a hassle for you and you want to get back onto the fields. No judgment, but also no bonus profit. Learn more in our upcoming preview about productions, constructions, and decorations. We still have a few previews scheduled upon release, so stay tuned. Yep, so there's still a little bit to announce, but I figured now was a good time to go over it. Obviously, I'm going to do my review video when it comes out. But yeah, this is just a quick little glance at what we're expecting. And, we know a bit, so yeah. But yeah, I don't know exactly what production chains. I'm assuming the soup will be made at the same production chain that soup in Zielonka, the soup plant. The onion rings will probably be made at the same place that makes the chips. It just makes sense. And the onion salt, I don't know. Never heard of onion salt. Interesting. I know like onion powder. Is it the same thing? Could be. They're not the same. It's a mixture of onion powder and salt. Okay, then. Now I know. Anyway, let's check out the garage and shipyard trailer. After presenting selected machines in our fact sheets collection, you know what's coming just before release, right? As a tradition, here's a trailer to show you the fleet of machines, or at least the most prominent ones, of Highlands Fishing, the garage and shipyard trailer. Again, I'll put a link to this. But yeah, it seems like, yeah, that's the only thing on this page. I would play this video, but I do know they like to use music in them, so I'm worried about getting copyrighted. So if you guys want to check that out, you can. But for us, we can check out the fact sheet collection. I'm sure there's going to be still some good stuff in here. And I'm going to probably come in. So I'm recording this on a Thursday. Tomorrow's Friday. I'm probably going to edit this tomorrow, and or at least finish editing it tomorrow, and add in the final fact sheet. So yeah, Highlands Fishing is calling, is nearly here. Yay. Okay. So let's go down from like starting to the ending, basically. Yeah, so the first fact sheets were released on Friday, September the 26th. And we have a car. Look at that, we have a car. The Skoda Octavia. I don't know if that's a real brand. Looks sort of like a BMW. I'm looking this up again. It's a real brand. A Czech automobile manufacturer. Interesting. We're bringing in automobile brands now. Very cool. All right, and then above it, we have 3 different machines. We have the New Holland T8000. Excuse me. We have the New Holland T8000 tractor. 359 horsepower. Not bad. And then the Vanderstad Proceed V24 is a seater. Costs more than the tractor. It requires 300 horsepower. It looks like it's a is it a universal Cedar? It looks like you can do a lot of stuff. Maybe it's got 2 different customization options to be a cedar or a planter. Because it looks like you can do wheat, barley, and soybeans, which I did recently learn that they changed that. I didn't know. I didn't know until I started my series on FS25 that they actually changed soybeans to be a planter crop, which is interesting. But yeah, corn as well. Corn has always been a planter crop, so interesting there. And then FH220. It's a front tank that can hold seed and fertilizer. Okay. And yeah, then you got the side tube connecting it. Alright. And then above that, we have another vehicle. We got the JCB Fast Track 8000 Icon Series. 224,000, but 306 to 348 horsepower. And of course, it's a fast track, so top speed 43 miles per hour, 70 kilometers per hour. And then we got on the back a Bunning Lowlander wide body 250 HBD manure spreader. All right. Next on the list, we got a Can-Am Defender DPS HD9 utility vehicle. Can you stop? I'm trying to record a video. We're almost done, gosh. $16,000, 65 horsepower, and 500 liter capacity. Very nice. We then have the Monosim MS Electron Vegetable Planter. Looks like it's just for planting onions. I would have thought it would plant also the Zielonka crops, but maybe not. $52,000. I guess, yeah, it looks like they didn't ridge this field, so maybe you don't. Maybe it's different. Again, I wish this was all kind of tied together, but maybe there's a reason it's not. But I don't know. It looks very similar to like the other vegetable planters. I don't know. Feels like there's a wasted opportunity to make things a bit easier. And then we have the onion harvesters with Deutzfahr 6230. So yeah, the UMR 300 FC and then the UR 205. So yeah, that's just the topper. And then that's the the windrower. Okay, so that's the topper, and then the back is the windrower that kind of puts it in that row. And then you still have to go out and get a big machine to pick it all up off the ground. It seems like a lot of work. Yeah, seems like there's a lot more to it. I thought this would collect it, but yeah, I see there's no tank or anything. It's just, yeah, it's a windrower. It literally just pushes them off to the side for someone else to deal with. Okay. Interesting. Again, is that the only way to harvest onions? Is that just one way to harvest onions? Can we also do this to potatoes, to sugar beet? I don't know. We'll have to figure it out. We got another Bunning. A Bunning Series 200 tipper trailer. Looks like it can carry everything, so nice trailer. And then, there's the Grime Veritron. 470. So this, you see, yeah, it says this can do potatoes and onions. It'd be interesting to learn all this, but yeah, this does say it can do potatoes and onions. I don't know if it means potatoes also in these windrows, because it didn't say that this machine could do potatoes down here. This one, yeah, it says it's just onions. So it probably just harvests potatoes like normally. But I don't know. We'll see. And then we got a boat. We got our first boat, the Lizard cargo vessel. $275,000 for a boat. A big old boat. A big boat. Very cool. Alright. And then we have a sport boat. $55,000 for a sport boat. 35 kilometers per hour. 21 miles per hour. That's pretty fast on the water. Yeah. Nice boat. And then we have a class baler. Okay. Obviously not related to anything else in the pack, but new baler. Very nice. And it's, one of the ones that that does the wrapping as well. Obviously this one's not doing any wrapping because it's doing straw. But if you're baling grass, then, wrap it into silage. Very good. And then we have the JCB Fast Track 2000 four-wheel steering series. Is that what that means? Four-wheel steering? Or maybe WS stands for something else? Not sure. Not as fast as its counterpart. It only goes in 31, but still a decently fast tractor. And, pretty cheap too. 130 to 150 horsepower. And then you have a spreader on the back that can do both fertilizer and lime. Not a bad setup. And that's it. That's all they have for now. Obviously, there's going to be another fact sheet drop on the 24th, which I will add that into the video now. Hello and welcome to the future. As you can tell, the lighting has changed around me, but we also have new fact sheets because it's Friday. Starting with the Can-Am Outlander, utility vehicle for $12,000, 50 horsepower, 19-liter fuel tank, and a top speed of 37 miles per hour. And it looks pretty cool with the tracks on it for the snow. I'm guessing the snow is going to be pretty substantial on this map, being so far north. So yeah, definitely going to have to do some snow clearing in the yard. We then have the Monosim Valoterra and the Duo front tank. So this looks to be a planter with just planter crops. So you got corn, sorghum, sunflower, soybean, sugar beet, cotton, and green beans. And yeah, it looks like a very interesting setup. We got the front tank, obviously a pipe going to the back, and then some sort of rear splitter manifold over here going to the rear thing. Obviously going to cost you a bit of money, but it's not bad for a 6-meter working width. And 180 horsepower is not that much of a... It's not too bad. And you don't need to get the front tank if you don't need it. It's just good if you have a big field that you need to do. But if you have a small field, you don't really need it. And then the last thing, the Fast Track 4000 Icon series. And the Profi Class Tridem. So, again, slower than the 8000 Icon. 37 instead of like 43, I think it was. But obviously cheaper. And the sprayer, this is a very nice sprayer. Very big tank. 42-meter working width. And yeah, herbicide or fertilizer. Whatever you choose. It's a very big tank. So yeah. Anyway, back to the past or whatever. So yeah, that's going to do it for what we know so far about the Highlands fishing thing. Lots of questions. Stay tuned on my community posts. I'm going to try, and if there's any revelations that come out, like if stuff gets clarified, I'll try and post about it on there, but no promises. Sometimes life gets in the way, and I might forget about it. So, yeah, but hopefully, if, it's announced that, oh yeah, the onion harvesters and the potato harvesters, they work together, you can choose whichever way you want to harvest it. If that somehow gets announced, I'll be like, great, I'll make a post about that. But if not, we'll just have to wait and see until the reaction. Anyway, or the review. This is the reaction right here. But anyways, if you guys enjoyed this video, please be sure to leave a like. Subscribe for new videos. Have a great day, rest of your day. And I'll see you guys next time. There you go, lie down.